Hey, what's up? In today's video we're going to be doing a review on the Harley Benton SC Custom VB, one of my favorite guitars in my collection, and we're going to let you know why in this honest review right now. So just a quick side note on Harley Benton, if you don't know who they are the house brand for Thomann music based in Germany. They make all their instruments in either Indonesia or Vietnam. They're budget-friendly copies of famous guitars. And I would say their audience is either beginners or the intermediate or just guitar enthusiasts that want to upgrade their parts. And they do include basses as well, acoustic guitars, and DIY kits. In this review, I'm going to be going over my Harley Benton SC Custom VB that I've had since November of 2019. I've had it for a bit now. Just my honest experience with it, what came in the box. And just as a note, they do not make this guitar anymore. They keep making SC Customs, but this is the original one that they don't make anymore. Now it's like the SC Custom Plus, and they have ones with EMGs. Those are they're very similar to this one, so a lot of the specs still apply. It's just this tiny little nuances and upgrades, so now they're better. But at the time of when I got this was a $200 guitar, and that's what kind of drew me to it. And they still are affordable, which is kind of bizarre. But just as a side note, this is the original SC Custom. Okay, let's go over the specs of the Harley Benton SC Custom VB. We have a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, a satin neck, Jatoba fretboard. We got some pearl trapezoid inlays, modern C neck profile. The binding is ivory colored. We got a fretboard radius of 13.78, a little on the flatter side. Scale length, we got a Gibson traditional 24 3/4 scale length. Nut width is 1.6 inches or 42 millimeters. The nut is graphite. We have 22 medium jumbo frets, 2 Roswell LAF Alnico 5 vintage style humbucker pickups, 2 volume controls, 1 tone control with the coil split, 3-way switch, deluxe Tune-O-Matic bridge, gold plated hardware, Grover machine heads, and this is in vintage black satin. So I'd like to go over some pros and cons. Starting with the pros, number one is the price. Of course, Harley Bentons are known for their extraordinary price for great guitars. This one's no different. It was $200, and now they still float around maybe $250, which is still fantastic. We have the push-pull coil split, so we have pretty much 2 guitars in one. It's very versatile in sounds. The humbuckers are really mean for metal too, and we have the arch top, the belly cut. It's a thin body, it's very light. It's also satin neck, so it's easy to access. It's a very playable guitar. The frets are nicely rounded off. You'd think something in this price range wouldn't be so good with the frets, but they are. And of course, the Grover tuners. For a guitar this price, this thing stays in tune, and that's awesome. On the other side of the spectrum, we have cons, and I only have 1. I have 4, but the other 3, I think maybe it just happened to me. I'll get into that in just a bit. So my only con is that the gold, at least on the pickups, they fade pretty bad. Where your palm is, mostly on the bridge pickup. My neck pickup is fine, and my tuners are fine, but you know, it's definitely not lasting, and that's pretty much it. It's just a cosmetic thing, so if you don't care about that, then whatever. My other minor con that might not be a con was this thing came with strap locks, which is a pro for a lot of people, and that is really cool. It comes with a brand called Marvel strap locks, but mine came they came broken, so I had to replace them. So I don't know if I just got a bad batch, but that's you know, I had to mention that, so who knows. I don't know if anyone else has had that problem. Maybe con number 3 is the nut. The first time I switched the strings, the nut just came off, so I don't know if it wasn't glued to begin with, but basically for the next couple of string changes, I had to, the nut was being held strictly by string tension, which scared the hell out of me, and then I finally glued it back on. But I don't know if that was just a thing, or again, I just got a bad batch. But it's the kind of stuff you kind of have to expect in this kind of price range. I just think I got unlucky on that regard. I still love the guitar, but it's just kind of unfortunate those things happen to me. And then finally, I don't know if this is more of a con or just like a nitpick, but when I coil split these guys, the volume drop is pretty significant, and I know that's normal, but for this one I feel like it's like a lot. It drops like about 6 dB for me, which is very noticeable. You know, like I have to turn up again once I to accommodate, and I don't know. It just seems like the drop is just a little too much. It's nothing game breaking. Everything I said is mostly, you know, cosmetic or nitpick, but it's just, if I had to say the one con, it's just really with the gold fades. So I mean, most people upgrade their pickups anyways, speaking of pickups, right before we get into the sound demos coming up, I did make a video that I'll put up here where I compare the Roswells to EMGs in like a blind test. So it's just audio, and you can check that out after this. But for now, let's just get into the sound demos for this guitar. So my final thoughts on the Harley Benton as a whole, and this guitar. This guitar actually kind of got me back into electric. I was strictly playing nylon, that guy up there, for like 8 years, and then when I got this one, I started playing a lot more electrics, and now that's kind of all I've been doing again. So it definitely kind of fueled my fire. They're a really cool brand. They're very active on social media. They're always constantly making new instruments, new posts all the time. So they're pretty active, and it's really cool. I've owned 2 Harley Bentons now. One was an acoustic that I reviewed that I'll put up here, and I've sold that one. But for the price, at the end of the day, like, I kind of just wish they were around when I started. And I think that's most people's kind of thoughts. Like, where were these guitars when I was starting out? When I spent $200 on a guitar, it was a Squire or something. Nothing against Squire, but you know what I mean. And it's just great that we've kind of come along this far in the guitar making business. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Let me know about your Harley Benton. I know you guys have heard of them. So that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in the next one, in the next review. Don't know which one it's going to be yet, but it's coming soon. And thanks for watching. Take it easy.